In truth, every single person builds scenarios. One always asks, what if I do this, this might happen, whilst if I make this decision, the route is more likely to be that. We're actually building scenarios of the future and then coming back to make sure that the decisions we make today give us the future we want.
In our case, the issues were innovation and intellectual property.
Intellectual property has become such a phenomenal concept that is interdisciplinary, that touches every aspect of people's life. In fact, in some cases, intellectual property is a matter of life and death.
So we are asking ourselves, what is the future of innovation and intellectual property will be like in 2035 in Africa?
The Open African Innovation Research and Training Project, known as Open A, has spent 3 years researching scenarios. The scenarios developed look ahead to the future of knowledge governance, innovation, and intellectual property in Africa. A draft report on the scenarios was launched during a conference at the University of Cape Town, attended by participants from 53 countries. The final scenarios report is now freely available on the Open A website. The publication is the product of extensive research, including in-depth interviews with experts in Africa and around the world, and 10 different scenario building workshops attended by Open A network members. A key task for the Open A scenario builders was to decide which forces are most likely to be the drivers of change, pushing the evolution of knowledge, innovation, and intellectual property in Africa between now and the year 2035. It was only after nearly a full year of research and workshops that the beginnings of distinct scenarios began to emerge.
We had about 5 possible scenarios out of almost 20 or 30. So we continue to think, talk, consult different regions, up to the point where we decided on 3 possible scenarios.
We devised 3 scenarios, which will be presented to you now.
These are 3 overlapping scenarios. And all of these perspectives, none of these perspectives are right, none are wrong, none are certain to occur, none are impossible. And so your perspective matters. The map that we provided for you in the open air scenarios will hopefully influence you and your mindset in your future work.
My name is Nagaris, and I'm working on the wireless engagement scenario. It is a world where appropriate technologies have taken place. Africans have made very good use of mobile technologies, and we call it wireless engagement. There are tons of opportunities for young people. It is, at the end of the day, male-dominated. There are some opportunities for women, but the culture still prevails. It is not a rosy world, because there's always this thing in the tail. There are those who are left behind. There are those who will not have access to the phone, to charge their phones. In the case of Egypt, for example, there are high rates of basic read and write literacy, and these will stay in the way of the inclusion that is offered in this scenario. The creation of knowledge and innovation will very much gravitate around formal structures, hierarchical structures. The mix between proprietary and even open licenses and open IP will still work with standards that cater to the global environment. In general, the recommendation of the research would be to keep an eye on the threats. Those who are not able to learn the rules of the game will really fall behind. It's likely to be a winding down, not just in digitally, but also in income and development in general.
But just from the presentation, I would love to hear from you. What did you think of any of them? Did you relate to any of them? Did you see, this is what's going to happen to Africa in 20 years? I mean, I don't mean to put you in the spotlight, but I always like to hear the response of, yeah, thank you.
I thank my panelists and I thank the speakers for your attention. And both books are freely available for download on the Open A.I.R website, which you will find a link to on our Rebecca for some logistics.
Okay, logistics again. We're going to have, I will ask you to make a 10-minute break. We're coming up to our last session, which will be about research policy, research advocacy and policy. I know we're getting to the end of the day, but I promise I will have some energy to, liven the discussion. It will be an interactive panel of questions to panelists, and hopefully the audience will be engaged as well. So we will not be giving presentations, it's more of Q&A with the panelists and with the audience. So kindly try to be here in 10 minutes, and then we'll have one session. Thank you.